All right, welcome back to another Wake Up Humans episode with my man, Dr. Drew Henderson. I'm Steve Judson. What's going on, big man?
Not much, man. Just another Tuesday, loving, living life like we always do, right?
Yeah, we had a beautiful day. Our intern, Mike, I told him I'd give him a shout out, is heading out tomorrow. He's getting ready to graduate life
Oh
this
man,
weekend.
yeah, it is finals week. We got a couple of students in school, and they're like, man, finals kicking my butt.
Really?
Like,
Remember
man,
those
get through
days,
it.
man?
It kicked all of our butts. It's all right.
It's all right. We all got through it.
Yep, onward and upward.
It's a good thing it happens when you're young. You don't need sleep.
Yeah. Now, shoot, we don't sleep much now, man. I don't. I don't think you do either.
I go through
You know.
phases. I've been doing better about it. I think since I've been
Yeah.
flying quite a bit, I have my moments on the weekend, man. I get tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I forced myself. Like, this morning I woke up at like 4. I'm like, I'm going back to bed. I just like went back to sleep, slept till like 6:20, and I'm good with that. Usually up around 5:15,
Yeah, yeah,
but I feel better when I sleep, you
yeah.
know.
I miss those mornings where I get up early in the morning and hit the gym and whatever. If I get behind and don't get a workout in, I can feel it.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, man, we need that rest. I mean, it's if we want to perform at our highest, we need to be able to rest.
We got to be in it, especially in this profession. It's a physical job. You had sent me a text this morning, something along the lines of like, what is chiropractic missing?
Yeah,
And
it's
it's,
nothing.
yeah.
Missing nothing.
And the flip side is what does chiropractic need to be added to it? Nothing.
No, no, me and Dr. Claudia are talking about that, where that there's lots of value in progression, but that doesn't mean that chiropractic is flawed, that
Right,
it's lacking something, that it needs fixing. But
right.
that don't mean that we won't progress. We went from the thermocouple to the Titron. That's great, but that doesn't mean that thermography's out the window.
Right.
It's just progression.
I love when people say, if BJ was alive today, what would he be doing?
Yeah. I
Like,
think he would be doing these podcasts.
I think he'd be all over the internet, right? He had his own radio station. Ronald
Yeah,
Reagan was one of
WOC.
his broadcasters.
Yep. Yep. One of my slides this weekend, I was teaching Georgia law Sunday morning,
Oh,
and
cool.
one of my slides is Ronald Reagan behind a WOC microphone, and WOC is Wonders of Chiropractic. BJ
Where he
had the
went, he
first,
was promoting chiropractic.
yeah, all the time, just like Dr. Sid.
That's right.
He had the best basketball team money could buy at Life University,
That's right.
just to get on ESPN and talk about chiropractic.
And he did it, right? In Madison
It,
Square Garden.
he did. Like, that was what the NAIA National Championship.
Yep. Yep.
It's still on YouTube. You can look it up. Dick Vitale asked him something about Life University, and he's just like, "Oh, well, Dick, it's it's the world's greatest and finest chiropractic school. Don't let life pass you by." You know, Dr. Sid, just right there, Madison Square Garden, Dick Vitale, still preaching chiropractic.
Everywhere he went.
Yep, yep. Getting a cab in New York City. They're like, "Hey, I know you. You're that chiropractor." He's like, "That's right. You ever
Yep.
thought about going to chiropractic school?"
Yep.
If it was not for Dr. Sid E. Williams and his bride, Dr. Nell K. Williams, chiropractic would be just a little blip on the radar right now. Real chiropractic.
I mean, it wouldn't be chiropractic anymore.
No, it wouldn't. It
You
wouldn't.
know?
We're just a few stalwarts holding out.
Yep. You
It's
look at the amount of chiropractors that came through, even hanging around him that, became rank mixers doing things that aren't chiropractic and they've just disappeared.
yeah,
They went from having an amazing reputation to just being irrelevant. It's like once
just
they start adding things to this, they just disappear because now you're just another therapist.
yeah, and you keep adding and adding and adding, and it just waters it down. and then there's not much left of what it used to be,
Right.
and it's um, we've got patients in chiropractic school. You're about to have um, kids in chiropractic school. It's going to be like amazing to see 20 years from now what this profession is like. 30 years from now, what is it like?
Well, that's why when you say what would BJ be doing, and he said he'd be doing this, right? He'd be out there speaking the truth and what pure chiropractic is. We need a lot more of that. We need that word to spread, and we need these kids going to school, that are their headspace. I was talking to our new doc and the intern today, and I said, just watch the guys you went to school with and watch what happens over the next year and a half. And they said it's already happening. They
Yep.
get scooped up and they start just doing other things just to make a quick buck, and then their passion is gone.
Yeah, and even if it's not to make a quick buck, even if their mindset is like, I can do this, it takes an extra 5 minutes and it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, some of their intentions are not wrong.
Right.
They're not bad intentions, but the road to hell is filled with people with good intentions.
Mhm.
Like it matters what we're actually doing. And I know the most thing I can do for somebody in the office is adjust them.
Right.
It would probably feel good to rub on their shoulders or like hook them up to a medical sauna later or some pulse or ultrasound or hot pack, cold pack. But um, that's not benefiting them the most.
And they could do
Clearing
90%
them out.
of that stuff. They could do 90% of that stuff themselves, but they cannot adjust themselves. Like, you cannot adjust yourself.
No,
There's no
no,
way
there
you get
it
the
is.
vectors, the touch, and everything to do it properly.
No, and you have to have an objective analysis with there's more than one thing. It's so much more than just a mechanical moving of the bone.
Right.
It's so much more than that. Like we set the bone, and then the innate intelligence of the body of the patient's body sets it where they need to. It's not um, it's not just a mechanical thing.
Right.
It's I mean, a monkey can do that, and then we're no more than a technician. Just
That's
knock
right.
down the high spots. Just knock down the high spots.
Well, that's the old
It's
flying sevens, just cracking bones, right?
yeah, yeah, just with no nothing specific about it. And it's either specific or it's nothing.
That's right.
And then I always tell people that we should we got to have a good analysis to see if they're subluxated. Are they subluxated or not? Yes or no? If they are, um, which segment, which level, which direction? And then you have to correct that with an adjustment. You got to make that correction. And then you still got to go back and do another analysis to make sure you got it.
That's right. I
If
understand
you're,
the first adjustment's the easiest one because it's like no doubt they need it.
yeah,
It's the next 50 visits after that you got to be on your toes and have an analysis is, do they need an adjustment? And there's
yeah,
many things that go into that.
yeah, yeah, it's a lot, especially when people have been under care for 30 years,
Right.
and since we're not basing it on symptoms, uh, you know, can't adjust myself. I can't say, oh, I need an adjustment. I don't have a clue if I need an adjustment or not.
Right.
The person checking me does.
Right.
And I think with proper education, our patients start to get it. Um, this afternoon, guy come in, um, didn't wasn't much to do on him, just adjusted a segment or two like his pelvis. And he's like, that's it. And I'm like, yeah, man, you're good. He just like a little fist pump. He's
Yeah.
like, all right, that's good.
That's a
Like he
well-educated patient right there.
yeah, he wants to hold that adjustment.
Right.
It's not like, and his shoulders were hurting. Like he does a lot of handyman construction work. He's like, man, I've been under a house. I'm like, yeah, you're good, bro. Go home, drink some water,
Yeah,
eat some
you could
food.
you could live you could live in that world. That's okay.
Yeah,
That's not going to kill you.
no, no, we're supposed to be sore when we do stuff.
That's right. That's
you know.
right.
Other day, I got up all these trees and stuff out down in the woods, and I mean, it was just some of them, they were half rotten, big pieces of wood, wet. Um, I was wore out, man, for like 2 or 3 days. I was hobbling. I'm like, shoot, I'm not used to this real work, but that's normal. I got checked. My chiropractor, she checked me. She's like, yeah, you're good. Made sure my atlas was good. She adjusted C2, I think. And man, I slept it off. I was good.
You earned that soreness, man. It's okay.
Yep. And
It's okay.
yeah, like we were talking with I believe Matt Alvord the other day, that the working out is not what strengthens us. That don't make us stronger. That breaks us down. But then our body will build itself back stronger.
That's
That's where
right.
the strength comes.
Well, how many times have you adjusted someone? It was a nice, clean, gentle adjustment, and then they come back 2 days later and they're like they're feeling stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah,
good. Those nerves
that's
are
awesome.
open. Like we're opening nerves. We got to get you through that process. That's why in the beginning, you know, I don't, I don't like to see a people a lot during the week.
Hmm.
BJ said less is more, but
Hmm.
we have to monitor them in the beginning to get them through that initial process of the body opening up and healing them. So I said, this is why you come more in the beginning, because this is brand new to your body. And a lot of it is mental, just coaching you through that process.
Yep. Yep. So they start holding that adjustment longer and longer, and you're going to have symptoms sometimes, and that's all right. That's what called retracing. And our little folder packet we send them home with
Yeah.
first visit, very back page is retracing.
Right. How do you
Sometimes
explain
that
that to patients? How do you explain retracing the patients?
like shit, but you went through the fire to get where you're at. Now you got to walk back through the fire.
That's right.
Like just simple. Like we can talk about it for 20 minutes, but like just stick it out. And then, our place is open like yours. Other patients hear them talking, and then they jump in, be like, "Yeah, listen, you're going to be fine. This is normal. Read that last page in that folder, because they
Yeah.
know it's the last page." You know.
I missed this interaction, but my associate was really excited because we had a really challenging patient start out a while back. And, sometimes you get this feeling like this person is not going to last, but they turn out to be your best patients. Um, and a new patient was getting adjusted and was asking questions. And he said, look, this guy got off the table, said, listen to whatever they do. In the beginning, you're going to have challenges, but this place has changed my life. Coming here and getting adjusted. And Alex was laughing like that was him talking, because you don't really realize and what's changed in their life unless they really open up and talk about it. But here he is coaching this new patient, saying how this place changed his life, what adjusting did to him. He was nervous in the beginning and had doubts, and he'll never stop getting adjusted now for the rest of his life. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it is, it is, and those patients get it sometimes more than we do. We get in the trenches, and we're just like cranking, but they'll see the anxiety on somebody else.
Oh yeah.
We take care of this little Hispanic, little Mexican woman. She told somebody the other day, like, "Oh, if you listen, you'll get well. If you listen, you'll get well." And that's it. And then that's about the only thing she knows in English except like hola. Like that's Spanish, but she'll just be like, hello, hello, Andrew. But like she knows if they listen, they
Right.
get well. So she listened and she got
Right.
well.
Well, I mean, you're going to go to a professional, a doctor, and they're going to analyze you and say, this is what we found. This is what you need. This is where and especially if you trust them, then why wouldn't you listen? What do you show up for? What are you expecting? And getting cracked 3 times really isn't going to achieve a lot as to stick it to a protocol that, is scientifically proven to work if you follow it, but it's just getting over those initial humps,
Yeah.
that you can't handle alone. That's why it's the process is the process.
Yeah. And I mean, we tell them over and over. I probably say a dozen times a day. You can't plant corn Monday, pick it Tuesday.
Mm,
Takes time, effort, repetition.
that's a good one.
You're not doing it like Oh, it's still there. I'm like, listen, you're 62 years old. This is your third, fourth visit ever. Give it time.
You're
Give it
62
time.
years late for your first adjustment.
Yeah, let's give it time.
Mm.
Give it time. You're going to be all right. And then if they just hang out for a month or two, then, they're like, I'm just, I'm just better. I can't even explain it. I'm just better, you know?
What's the alternative? Like I'm teaching a CEU class in Illinois in a couple weeks. So I've been putting together, you do a CEU, you got to have some PowerPoints and
Hmm.
statistics. And I'm reading about, through the FDA and the pharmaceutical, all the drugs and things that the percentages of people in America, what they're taking is absolutely sickening.
Yeah.
Sickening. And now you listen to people like Gary Brecker, who comes out and he's showing this research and what he used to do. And he could trace back to when people started dying was the day they started taking these meds.
Hmm.
So it's like you have two choices: either take care of yourself properly, or you're going to end up down that rabbit hole that everybody knows about.
Yeah. What are you going to choose? I mean, just like, I don't know if it's still on your website. I remember when you recorded it about, now that you know a little information, you have two roads to take.
Two roads. Yeah, I got that video on my website.
Yeah, like, you're going to go this way to the truth, or you're going to go this way to disease, sickness, and death.
Right.
You got one or two choices, and once they know the truth, it's up to them. We just got to tell them.
Got to make a commitment.
Yeah, we just got to tell them.
And that's the
It's
greater commitment, is to commit to being the best that version of yourself that you can be.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't have control over what was done to you and what decisions were made when you were a child. But now put
Mhm.
the effort in to learn. Like my kids are getting older and they have questions. I'm like, Google it, research it, and
Figure it out.
come back to me with better questions.
Hmm. Yeah, and just like you were saying about when we were a child, like, so many people hang on to their past,
Right.
and that keeps them from being the person they were created to be. If a family member said something to you, if a family member or family friend, somebody like touched you in a way that wasn't right, or
Mhm.
or somebody was was hateful to you when you were little, like, we internalize that stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's like
forever.
we can't ever get past that.
Right.
But
After many years in practice and thousands of conversations like that with patients, because patients bury the emotions and try to just move on, and I'm like, that never happens. That's what led me to write the book The Backpack, because it's like, you're going to carry this stuff for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. But it's addressing it and realizing it, especially if it wasn't your fault. And if someone did something to you, you don't have to like them. You could really dislike them, and hate's a strong word, but you got to love through it. And that's
Mhm.
the level of forgiveness, so that when it pops up in your consciousness, or what people call triggers, you're not going to let it trigger you down that dark road. You're going to take ownership and say, no, I've moved on, I've forgiven, I was not responsible, I'm going to carry on with this vision of my life that I have.
Yeah, yeah, and you can even still hate them, but you got to love yourself more to not let it keep you where you were.
Yeah.
You got to rise above that.
Listen, man, I've
Because
had people do things to me and I've caught them red-handed, and I wanted to hurt them. I could have ruined
hmm
their career. I could have ruined their career. But then it was like, thank God for people like Dr. Sid that would taught me to love through it. Don't make a decision today that's going to hurt you or your family tomorrow. That made me think twice and say, I got to move past this, because if I do really what I want to do, a
yeah,
lot more people are going to get hurt. And I don't want to hurt my family, my kids, by feeling really good, taking this person to a level of pain because of the pain they gave me. But
mhm,
falling silent and just moving on is huge. And people need
yeah,
to learn that. Like, instead of hating on people and being angry and creating this energy, become the greater energy so your life could be more peaceful and better.
yeah, yeah. And you know, um, some of those people that have hurt us, they they know that we know, and they still carry on like nothing's ever happened,
See, that's an amazing dynamic to me, man.
right?
Like I've been
right?
around people, like I'll show up at a conference and they're there and they're hanging out
Yeah.
drinking wine with a buddy of mine or something. And I'm like, I really want to hurt
What?
somebody right now. Like I could, and that's a tough lesson in life. But to me, that's why I think through all my experience, we talk about the biggest cause of subluxations are chemical, physical, emotional, right?
Mhm,
I really
mhm.
think the emotional stress is the number one causative factor of subluxation, especially in today's world. And when
Yeah,
people understand that, they'll grip their emotions better and not just let things go, but deal with it and then find strength through the lesson so it empowers them that you can just walk past those people and realize they know what I know and they got to live with it. I
yeah,
don't have to defend it. I'm just carrying
mm-mm.
on because I'm walking with truth.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we have to do. We have to be the bigger person because there's people and lives counting on us. Because if we let some of that stuff bog us down, man, we're not gonna be who we're created to be.
That's a big
You
one,
know,
man.
we're just not. And that's the only thing I want to be. I don't want to be um, this person on the platform at DE. I don't want to be um, vice president GCC. I don't. I just want to be who God wants me to be,
And there's a
whatever that
reason
is.
why he's put you in those positions and you've gravitated towards it because you're being used for a greater purpose.
Yeah, and um, telling somebody a couple of weeks ago, I know that we all have like deficiencies in different things, but I know I don't care to outwork anybody. I'll outwork whoever needs to be outworked. But I'll work all the time. I'm good with it. It's
Yeah.
great because work is fun.
Same.
I love to work.
That's right. I
You
was
know,
saying
we
that to myself today, man.
Yep, we got one life, man. Life is too long and too short to just kind of meander through it. You
I
know,
was talking to a father today. I've been taking care of his family forever. His son, little kid with ear infections, and now he's vying to go into the NFL. And I'm like, I used to look down at the kid, now I'm looking up at him. And he's going to end up in the NFL. And it's like, man, life, you blink, bro. So to waste energy on this minutia and what I like to call bullshit, it ain't worth it, man. No drama. Like move
no,
on.
it's not.
And that's the hard
It's
part too, especially when we're in our role in chiropractic, right? And we take a lot of heat from people out there because we're such purists. We want to keep
mhm,
chiropractic, and people hate on us for that. And now you see these things that people are doing and all the additives that they're creating to it that we know they're purely doing because of a profit and trying to just create a profit center in their office and they're trying to show how well that helps with the subluxation, which we know is BS and they know it's
yeah,
BS. That's why I always like to say to them, you could do all that stuff, but do it for free.
yeah, just do it.
Just do it. And they're
Do
like,
it.
well, insurance pays for it. Well,
Yeah,
then,
and what gets me is when they have those little cushions, looks like a oatmeal cream pie almost. They're about this big with those little spikes on them.
mm,
And then they have those in every chair. When patients sit on them, that's another $32 because they're
it's
going to bill insurance for neuromuscular reeducation. But they had no place else to sit. And it's
exactly.
not like a clinical thing, like if a physical therapist does it, great, do that. Like there's whatever parameters, but like everybody getting that, that's insane.
You know how many patients I get from these other offices around us that people are smart and
Yeah,
they'll see an EOB and they'll see this, and then they're always seeing the next shiny thing coming in and they're always upselling them. They're like, I want chiropractic. Like, what is all this stuff? And then they
yeah,
stumble in our office and they never had x-rays. They've never been scanned. They never had a really initial conversation. And then we talk about this, what it's going to cost you. And this is all we do. And they're like, that's what I want. It's really
yeah,
helped grow our office because the truth always comes out.
yeah. They want chiropractic.
Right.
They can get vitamins at Walmart.
Yeah.
They can get that stuff anywhere else, but we're the only place they get chiropractic. And if you if anybody does anything in their office that you can get somewhere else, it's not chiropractic.
Yeah.
And
Well,
not saying that stuff don't help. I'm sure it does.
no, there's definitely benefits to it, man.
Yeah,
It's like, why not? There's a time and place for it all. I mean, I get patients coming in with they need a hip replacement, knee replacement. They're like, should I do physical therapy? I'm like, yeah.
yeah, do
I'm
it.
not I'm not stretching your knee to whatever 100 degrees you need. You got to go to them and they're going to do that.
Yeah, and we don't even know what we should do.
Yeah,
for
I'm not.
chiropractors.
Yeah. But I could take
I
a
mean,
weekend course and I could learn to do it, or I could rub a wand over their knee and charge them $75 and tell them that the deep heat's going to help them heal faster. Well, why do you want to rush the healing process? Let innate take over.
yeah, and we talk about the medicalization of chiropractic with like the bill we talked about last week with Dr. Austin Davis in
Yeah.
Montana. The HB 500 got defeated, but we never talk about the physical therapization of chiropractic.
Right.
They think, oh, well, just as long as it's not a drug or an injectable, oh, we can add it. It's all right. But it's
Yeah.
not. It's still not chiropractic. So why are we okay with it?
Right.
I'm not okay with it.
It's a one-way street. If it works for them and makes them money, it's okay. But when it comes back the other way, they get all upset.
Yep.
I had that
Yep. Like,
conversation with someone who was upset, because someone was teaching a course overseas and there was non-chiropractors there, but there's no chiropractic regulation there. So they want to like run this person out of the profession, which I get it, like keep it within chiropractic, but it was a different scenario. And the story keeps changing on what really happened. But I'm like, look, I said to the group, why are you spending all this energy on that? But then it's okay for chiropractors to do non-chiropractic in their office. Why aren't we focusing on that?
it got real quiet, I guarantee you.
Oh, well, one of them, the biggest mixer in the group, got really upset. And what do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I just laughed. Like, it got you. The truth
Yeah.
is the truth.
Yep.
If a physical
And he
therapist
wouldn't
or
have
medical
acted
doctor
that
is
way.
adjusting people, they get upset because that's not chiropractic. Well, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, if I'm in Australia in the outback, like Crocodile Dundee was, and come around these aboriginals that, you don't know if they're going to kill you or eat you or whatever, but they don't have access to chiropractic. You get the chief, you adjust all of them. I don't see no harm in teaching them how to take care of themselves.
Right.
Why not? Like, if we love humanity, like, hey, listen, take care of some people. You're out here by yourself.
It's funny, Keith Wassong, and I play his videos in all of our offices. We have him on the
Mhm.
screen, and he's got amazing stuff. Like people need to go to
Yep.
Keith Wassong and support this guy because he's not a chiropractor, but he's a great educator and loves our profession. And I happened to look up today, and there was like a cave carving of the wall of a caveman, obviously adjusting another one. He was laying down on like a rock, and it said under it, chiropractic is just a fad. And it hit me. I'm like, that's brilliant because that's hundreds of years ago, a
Hmm.
carving they found on a wall that, this art has been around a long time
Yeah,
and it's withstood the test of time with results. You don't need
it
to add
is.
to it. Stick to what we do and be a master at it.
Yeah, and clear that nervous system out. Know you cleared it out, and move on.
Right.
Like, you know, you fix something, you don't keep fixing it. Light bulb go out, you replace a light bulb. All right, what else is there to do?
Well, you
But
keep twisting it, you're going to crack it.
yeah, gonna mess it up.
Right.
It's but we get off on this, but then like, what is it? I know what I do, but like, what do you do? Like when you're in the zone at work, like how do you get in that, and how do you stay in that zone of just taking care of people?
It's funny because it's like I don't call what we do, what I do work. To me,
No,
it's such a peaceful environment and it's so easy to just fall into that zone of serving. It's like my whole world stops
yeah,
and it's just taking care of people and just connecting them and just sitting back and watching people's lives change. I can't imagine doing anything else, you
yeah,
know? And why would I want to add to that or take away from it? It's like when you become a master at your craft, and I think I could call myself that. I've trained tens of thousands of hours and probably adjusted over 1 million people, probably, that it becomes so simple, right? The art is communicating and educating people as to how it could add value to their life. So that's the
yeah,
biggest challenge,
yeah,
connecting with so many different personality types. But to be able to walk around in a healing space, you've got beautiful music going, you got amazing people coming in, people that love you. And like, what's the challenge with that? It's not exhausting. Like the busier I am, the
Oh,
more empowered I feel.
I know it's like yesterday we were jamming. Um, Here come this little woman, and she just waved, um, shook a big loaf of bread at us, and went and put it like on the front desk and run out. You know, just loving people. This evening, um, it was after like we closed, but like that's always a soft close. We stop seeing people when they stop showing up. But they were in here just like lost in themselves, talking about makeup and trying makeup with each other after they got adjusted. They're just like, oh, hey, what you doing? Oh, hey. Then she goes to her car, gets like her Mary Kay and stuff out, and they're just like putting stuff on their arms and holding it up. Just, some people may be like, oh, not in a chiropractic office, but they're just so comfortable with where they're at and like love where they're at. And they know they can just be them. We're still seeing people and they're just like happy, got their adjustment, start talking about makeup. And then 20 minutes later, they're just cackling like little hens going out the door waving at us.
Right.
Like how it's not work at all. Like, I said something to somebody the other day that works at a chiropractic college, like higher up in leadership, that you know, we're living a life that we don't deserve. And he's like, oh no, man, we deserve it. We work hard. I'm like, hey, we don't work that hard. We're great. Like we wake up, we go take care of people, we laugh and cry and hug people. Then we go to lunch. And then we do it again in the evening.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Like it's great, you
Well,
know?
it's funny. My docs today were this morning were training on the speeder board. I looked over in the corner and they had the speeder board out. And it's like I remember those days of the raw eggs and toggling in the air and the speeder board and just nonstop training, training, training to you're blue in the face. And it's awesome to see them doing that. And it's just kind of cool to see they have that intention. But it also prepares you for, you're in practice 20 years later. You don't get tired of it. I had someone, they were shadowing my office and they were burned out. They were in practice for maybe 12 years. They're burned out, uh, just tired. I'm like, how? I don't get it. How? And a guy came in the office and he had on like the traffic orange colors from working out on the roadways. And I asked him, I said, how many hours a week do you average working? And he said 80 to about 95 hours a week.
Crazy.
And this person was
Crazy.
working maybe 19, 20 hours a week. So I looked at him and I go, 90 hours a week outside, hot, cold, rain, whatever. Like, we don't have it bad.
No, dude, we
It's the
don't have it
mentality,
bad.
man. It's the mentality. It's like not connecting to that power and purpose and massive mission that we can create with these chiropractic principles and way of life.
Mhm.
That when we detach from that and lose that focus and become mechanical, you lose your way.
Yeah, and when you see the bigger picture, you see the bigger purpose of what we do. It's not just go set some bones, get paid, go home. It's like we're changing people's outcomes, their
Right.
lifelong outcomes. Like, I want to keep doing that. That's why I keep getting involved in stuff, even maybe when I don't have time.
Right.
It's just like, but I don't want to live a unfinished life.
Dude, I
I
had a
want my,
patient ask me yesterday, when are you going to retire? He asked me. I said, never.
no,
He said, are you,
no,
are you going to slow down? I said, I'm working more now than I ever did.
yeah,
I got my hands in more pots doing more things and not necessarily by choice, but it just innately happened and I had a choice to make.
yeah,
Serve bigger or not. And that's
yeah.
not to say there's days that I'm not freaking exhausted, bro. I mean, that shit, you're human.
Yeah,
To sit around
yeah.
and do nothing and not have a purpose and not be working towards something and not be challenged, I mean, no, thank you.
And looking forward to the weekend. I mean, I look forward to the weekend. I look forward to Wednesdays too.
Yeah.
I just I just look forward to the day. Like wake up and I'm like, shoot, look at my life. Like we've got it made. Like we can go anywhere and see people we know that love us and hug us. And I don't know. I know that may be ego driven, but it's just making an impact on their life.
Right.
We go to this little place on the square and eat outside, and every time it's just like every 10 minutes we're just like waving, like, hey, how are you? And then they'll yell across the square or whistle, and then we whistle. It's just like I don't know how you get burned out
No.
when you see the bigger picture and the bigger purpose and what we have in these two hands, what we have right here.
We're doing the forge right now, and I have a patient of mine, a guy who's been through a lot in life and was highly, highly successful, fell really ill. His wife left him, and he basically lost it all. And he came in a couple of weeks ago and he said, I'm loving the forge. And I said, why? He said, because the questions and the action steps is exactly what I needed to put my thoughts into action. And the big thing is creating accountability. So he came in today and he's starting up a whole new massive business for people that have the same condition he has. And he's buying a hotel that was abandoned and creating a whole illness center for people with natural healing things. And a vision he had a long time ago, just didn't have the wherewithal that within 8 weeks, he's been able to put this all together. And he came in today and he said, Steve, this is part of my accountability and I'm giving this to you. And he's already finding state funding for this because it's for people with disabilities,
Mhm.
which is incredible to think when we pour our energy into the right space. It's like how things come together, but when you take massive action and you fill your cup with the right energy, what can happen with people? It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and that's it. We have to take the action. Like we can talk the talk all day long,
Right.
but it matters if we're walking the walk.
Amen.
We can talk that, oh, I'm principled chiropractor. Like really, really. I looked on your website.
Mhm.
You sure about that?
Right.
It don't look like it. But now
No.
you want to project one thing, but
And listen, it
in
doesn't
reality, it's something
doesn't mean
else.
they're a bad person. I think people think
No.
I'm a good, you could be an amazing, great person. And I have more
Yeah.
respect for the person that says, look, I do all these things because I'm running a profit center. I want to make money. I know I can influence people and sell them $700 a month of vitamins and sell them PRP and sell them. I'm doing it for the money, man. And I love to throw in the adjustment because I know it's great. I'd rather them just be honest
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of trying to lie and make it look like it's part of chiropractic and what we do. So it's not.
Mhm.
Tammy works in a place right now that's absolutely amazing, and they got people with cancers and stuff coming in, and they're doing like blood stuff and IV drips and these whole cat things. Like they've got more things going on in this space, and people coming in that are really jammed up,
Mhm.
right? I think that's all important. And that's great to have a place like that where they could walk in that building and get all that stuff. And they've
Yeah.
got professionals trained in those things, nurses and doctors and naturopaths that are all working together. And they all get adjusted too. They go outside the building, get adjusted, and it all comes together. And that creates a
Yeah.
referral source back and forth. It's not a bad thing. It's not knocking it, but we got to keep freaking chiropractic, bro.
Just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade.
That's it. And
Yeah.
that's where, let the haters be haters, but we need more freaking chiropractors and young chiropractors fired up, speaking
Yeah.
the truth. What would BJ do? He'd be doing this.
Yeah.
Speak the truth constantly. You listen to someone like, Gary V, where they just paid him probably 100 grand to go speak at a seminar that people probably wouldn't go to if it wasn't for him. But his message was always be flooding social media with your message,
Hmm.
right? And we just have to
Yeah.
have that message of spreading pure chiropractic. And if we have thousands of us doing it, what's that going to look like in 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and it goes further than we know. I got excited the other day because this person that's not local, they sent us a message like, "Hey, I saw a video that you made about sympathetic nervous system. Um, daughter had hyperhidrosis in her hands. Her hands would just sweat, and it would be like a puddle of sweat in her hands constantly. They cut some nerves or whatever they done. Her hands stopped sweating, but now her feet are sweating. You think chiropractic can help with that? And I'm like, it sure can. I'm gonna get together a good video, and I'm gonna do it when we get off this, and then I'm gonna send that to her to send to her daughter. You know,
Nice.
and the crazy part to me is just like other people are watching this, like from all over the country, all over
Yep.
the world, watching it. Like hyperhidrosis, you need to go see the chiropractor because you got sweaty hands.
That's right.
You know, it's so much bigger than just headache, low back pain, um, neck pain, sometimes asthma. You
Well,
know,
are
it's
you
so
better
much
off with
bigger.
nerve interference or are you better off without nerve interference? Are you better off with a
Yep.
subluxation or without a subluxation?
Yep.
You know, someone was saying, well, chiropractors just use these fancy words to try to just speak over you and convince you. Well, that's medical terminology. You
Yep.
know, go read an MRI report and tell me that chiropractors are using big words. Our only big word is subluxation.
Yep.
Very simple. It means a bone out of alignment, putting pressure on the nervous system, you're screwed. That's it.
Yep.
Adjustment. Anyone can remember that.
Yeah.
Life,
And
clear, innate.
that's it. You know, face down.
That's it.
Like, you know, and we don't even use subluxation a whole lot. We just say nerve pressure.
That's right.
People get nerve pressure. Same thing. We don't have to sound sophisticated on your medulla oblongata. It's your brain stalk.
That's it.
You know, it's your brain stalk. So
Sounds perfect
that's
coming out of your mouth. I remember going through life. My patients that were, the Southern boys coming in was saying, I'm stove up. Well, you're in
yeah,
the right place. Whatever that
that's
means.
right. Yeah,
I'm going to
stove
check
up.
you, scan you. Your
Yeah,
atlas is off. Kneel down, turn your head to the right.
yeah,
Stove up.
that's right. Like, and we say that. I say that a lot. Somebody come in and be like, "Oh, dang, you stove up, bro. Come over
I
here."
love that term.
Yep,
But
yep. It's
it's no matter where you're on the country, it's the same outcome. Are you clear?
exactly.
How's your atlas? Are you clear?
Yep. And
100%.
and and even in different places, um, we use different terminology. You know, when we were down in South America together, um, no Dios, oh Dios. That's it. You know,
Perfecto.
yeah, that's it. Um, Parafuela, vete, levantate, get up, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think vete. I think that's like bad, like get out of here. But same thing. You know,
We'll have to ask Eddie. He'll tell us.
yeah, it'd be like no, no, don't say that. You
Well,
know,
we got
we need to get another one of those trips together.
well, yeah, I was talking to Lena who put the Panama trip together years ago and was trying to do another one about a year ago. And then some governmental stuff happened. So we'll see. But yeah, those were pivotal experiences. And that's pure chiropractic simplified, man.
It is. It is. And even if it's like Western Kentucky, you know, I don't care. Like,
Right.
I just want to go adjust a lot of people. We adjust a lot every day here, but it's different when you go into a place where there's no access to it,
But
you
the
know?
interesting thing is I've done enough mission trips. I think I've done about six of them. And I'm like, you look at our own backyard, man, people need help.
Yeah,
People need
they
help.
do.
Because, you would, by like my third or fourth Panama trip, and you're on the bus from the airport and you have a new doctor who's never been on one, and they're there excited to go help all these people. And by the third, fourth day in, you see a transition. These people are helping him.
Yeah.
They're seeing a different way of life. They're seeing families connected. They're seeing spiritual walks in life, what their whole world revolves around, and how families will pile in with grandma and everybody into one little home or hut, and they're happy. And they don't have a lot, but they have each other. They have love. They're connected. That's one of the biggest things I've learned by doing these mission trips.
Mhm. Yeah. And and talking about that group of people, I know two of the most shoutingest little women in church ever lived in little shacks.
Mm,
You know, just but they had joy in them that nobody could touch.
Right.
Like our joy should not come from the stuff. It's bigger than the stuff,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's okay
cliche,
to
man.
have
People
stuff.
know that. It's cliche, but people know that.
Yeah,
They hear
yeah,
it.
yeah, and it's okay to have stuff. I love stuff. You know, I like big tires, man. It's uh, it's great, but like real joy does not come from any of that.
Right.
Like real joy does not. That's like joy that's untouchable. That
Right.
it's all right, man. It's all right.
Amen. Well, we got
You know.
DE coming up in a couple weeks, brother. And as we always say, we get closer. I don't know if we want to do another gathering with Lieberman and Eddie before or wait to after, but it's like, I mean, we all text each other almost every day, so we'll have to plan that out. Those podcasts are getting massive feedback. And listen,
Oh yeah,
people are sharing them now, so we appreciate that. That's awesome. That helps
keep
to
doing
spread
it.
the word and reach people that are now saying we love the forum, love the way you guys are doing it. People have asked, are we on YouTube? Yes, we got the YouTube channel, so go find that. I
Yeah,
believe it's like just Wake Up Humans under YouTube, and you'll see these videos. So
yeah. Just anywhere you can get a podcast, it's there.
that's it. That's it.
Just anywhere.
That's it. I think this
Shoot, maybe
one,
maybe at DE we'll try to do one live or something. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
dude, that how cool would that be? And just set up a corner and then have call people over randomly to come over and just sit and talk and just see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We should try to do that.
That could be cool.
Yeah, that would be good. And the number two thing that's going to be awesome is Pollo Manchego at Columbia.
Bro, yes. I'm
Woo,
gonna be there the week before for a big meeting.
ICA.
Same, yeah, the ICA.
Yeah.
That's the
Man,
name,
you're gonna
right? Pollo Manchego or whatever.
yeah, Pollo Manchego. I'm getting chills, man, thinking about it.
One of the best meals I've ever
Woo,
had.
it is that orange citrus sauce. Woo, good
Good
stuff.
stuff. I'll eat it every day there, that's for sure.
Right.
Side of rice, it's healthy and it's good. Cool.
Rice is great when you're hungry and you want 2,000 or something.
Well, amen, man. Well, I got a crazy April coming up, just about every weekend traveling somewhere, and then May heading out to Australia, bro. You ever been to Australia?
No,
Speaking
no.
at a conference out there, I'm really looking forward to it. They sound like they're a group of fired up chiropractors out there. So me and Tammy gonna head out there together. That's gonna be fun.
You're gonna stay a week or two.
About a week, yeah. We're gonna leave and then have kind of acclimate all week and go up there Saturday, blow it up, have fun.
Take you 2 days to fly there.
It's long. I love planes,
It's
man. I can't get enough of airplanes, bro. If you
yeah. I
feel
don't mind flying.
don't feel the sarcasm here, but it's okay. Landed Sunday night and sat on the tarmac for an hour and 15 minutes, bro. They couldn't find us a spot to pull in. I loved it.
Uh,
I love
yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
healthy, happy, terrific. It's all good, brother.
yeah. You get on a plane, put your headphones in. Um, Nobody can bother you. It's just like quiet time. There's nothing to do. I don't even turn the TV on. I
Bro,
just sit there.
I don't watch TV. I live on freaking Netflix or Prime Video now. I'm watching this series now called The Resident.
Like good.
Really, really cool thing to watch. It's all these ER doctors and watching how these hospitals operate and what's going on. It's not a fairy tale. It's truth. Like you can learn a lot if you just watch a couple series.
Yeah,
You know?
that's awesome. You
Yeah,
know,
brother. All
it's
right,
good stuff, man. We're living a great life.
love
And
you,
if you
bro.
want to be a part of this life, if y'all are watching, you can. Like stuff not out of reach. If y'all knew how we both grew up, like you can have the best life you can imagine if you just turn it over. DE's coming up April 10th through the 13th. You can still register. You can register at the door.
That's right.
Like you can get your crap together. You can get your ducks in a row and live, walk into that abundant life that you hear everybody talk about.
And live free and unchained, man.
Yeah,
Not waiting for the world to fall out under you because you're just not doing the right thing, but just do the right thing and live free. It's nothing better.
that's right. That's right.
Amen, my man. Love you.
Yeah, man. Love y'all. We will see you soon, my man.
Ciao.